everyone, I'm Kelly. Welcome to my studio, and today we are working with the second installment of the open collab with Creating in the Waiting. It is hashtag allthingsaltered, and I'll have that hashtag and a playlist and her channel listed down in the description box below. One of the things that I'm trying to keep in mind with this is I have a lot of stuff on hand that I can use, but when new stuff comes into the house, instead of stuffing it in the craft room or stuffing it in the warehouse, that's the stuff I want to work with first as much as I can. So with this one, it's a dish drying mat from Dollar Tree, and we're going to be using this belly band. On this packaging as belly bands that we're going to turn into something else. So that made absolutely no sense, I know. I had already made one of these, didn't care for the video, so I started over. This is what I made. And I'm going to make another one of these. And a lot of the things that I make are going to wind up in a journal. And one of the things that I'm using that is coming into the house repetitively this time are these Townhouse cracker boxes. Now, I've got 4. I am so sorry. I was not yawning until 5 minutes ago. And now I can't stop yawning. I've been dry packing Townhouse crackers for the pantry, and I'm going to be picking up another 4 boxes. So I'm going to utilize as much of this packaging as I can. And this, I believe, is going to become a journal cover. So keep that in mind. This is what we were looking at. Now, with that in mind, to make belly bands, I needed to know how wide I could go. So I decided I could go safely 5.5 for belly bands. And so that's what I did with this one. This one is 5.5. And now I'm going to show you how we got to this point. The other thing I'm going to be using in these All Things Altered project is I'm going to be using repeatedly from this retired paper collection from Stampin' Up. It's called Pattern Party, and it was a host set in the All Occasions catalog in 2021-2022. And I have 2 or 3 packs of this, so I have lots of this to work with. And one of the reasons I thought it would be great for a journal is we have the dots, we have places to journal here, we have what looks almost like a dot grid here. You could journal in between the lines here, and journal in the lines here, aside from some really pretty patterns of paper to work with. So that's the pattern paper we're going to be working with through this whole collection. I've also gone through and I've selected lace trims to use, and this is just what I picked out of my stash that has colors that coordinate with this pattern paper collection. So we're going to be working with this stuff. Now I started this one. What did I do with my sample? I lost it. There it is. I used this eyelet for this one, and I'm going to go ahead and repeat it today. So these belly band, or these pieces were 3 inches wide. I cut them down to 1.5 inches. And I'm also going to be decorating the front because this has kind of a sheen to it, or a little bit of a slickness to it. Anything I want to slide down behind it is going to slide in and out of there really easy because of that glossy finish. So I'm going to be decorating this one. Now I chose to use music paper for my base, and while we lose a lot of it, you'll do that in collage because it's all about the layering. So I'm going to start with my music paper, and I'm going to just cover this in my Tombow glue. Let's see. And yes, I realize I'm upside down. It's okay, because there's going to be music paper on the back. And actually, yeah, we're going to let it go. I probably shouldn't have done that. And I'm going to trim this out. Trim this one off a little more. Trim this one off a little more evenly. And I want to take this one. And you'll notice this one here has a little bit of a torn edge to it, and I really like that. So that's what we're going to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and tear this one so it hangs down a little bit below that band. And we're going to see if I can get through this without yawning too much more. And so we have that to work with. Now I want to trim this top off so they get rid of the little staticky pieces. I'm going to trim this one off even, just like that. Okay, next I came in with a piece of this pattern paper and I chose this floral print. And this one might be a little bit short, but that's okay. It doesn't have to match exactly. And I'm going to use this one. I'm going to distress it with the walnut stain. I'm really looking forward to seeing what I can create with these pieces of packaging. And that's pretty much all I'm going to be working with is the pieces of packaging for most of these All Things Altered. Okay, I've got that one there. And then I also had a piece of this stripe, and I thought I had, there we go, thought I had another piece of it. But before that goes down, I want to be able to put down a piece of my lace. Now this lace is too wide this way, so I'm going to take my fabric scissors, and I'm going to cut this off right there. And then we're going to trim this down here. I had recorded this once, and I was so far out camera most of the time that I wasn't happy with it. So we're going to come up here, and to put this on, I'm going to use my craft glue. You've seen me use this lots of times. It is my favorite glue for adhering anything fabric, ribbon, and I just kind of paint it on in a line across there. Just like that. And then we'll come back with this and put this on. Okay. And then I want only part of this. So I'm going to go ahead and tear this down, because I don't want a really wide band there because I want the lace to show. Okay. And I'm going to lay that right across there, and know that's where that's going to tear. Now this will adhere to the fabric pretty good since it's on the paper. If I get the glue all the way to the end anyway, there we go. That there. Now I'm going to slide this down just a layer. There we go. Oops. There we go. Okay. Now the other thing I want to do is I want to do this medallion. Now I'm using retired punches from Stampin' Up. This is their 1 3/8 and their 1 1/8. And part of this pattern paper has these flowers in it. And I use this with the 1 1/8. Punch one of those out. And you know, if you have pattern paper, chances are you have ephemera. It's just how you manipulate it. And so, like with me, I'm using the punches, and it's giving me a whole new, it's giving me instant ephemera that coordinates with the paper pack because it came from the paper pack. Now, the other thing I'm going to do with that, since I see what I did with them today when I was moving stuff around, I have a container that has all of my glue dots in it. And I had it here today. So I know it's here somewhere. Huh. Let me think on that a minute. I have glue dots, but I want my, aha, I put it back and then I covered it up with that mat off my table. I've taken all of my dimensionals, the different sizes and the colors, and I put them in envelopes that the envelopes were sealed shut, so I just trimmed the edge off, followed the V, and gave myself a place to file my dimensionals in. So just like that. And I did 3 of them on the back of there, so I'm going to put one kind of in the center, almost like a triangle here. I am so tired of not being able to find anything, so when I decide I want to use something, I organize the heck out of it first so I can find it. And then we're just going to pop that on there. And now we have 2 belly bands from packaging and designer series paper, which I'm sure you have all kinds of pattern paper from scrapbooking papers or specialty papers from places like Graphic 45 or Stamperia or Minte or 49 a Market or wherever. You have a wide variety of pattern papers in your shop or in your studio that you can play with. So that's going to be it for me in the studio today. Tomorrow I will be back with a project that I am hoping to get working on. I wanted to do this project inspired by Madi from Spectrum Art Creations for 2 or 3 months now, and I haven't got to it. So I've decided that's what I want to do for Try It Tuesday. So come back here tomorrow and see what I put together. Also, if you're interested in my Make It Mail It Monday card, that is posted on my blog, and I will link that in the description box as well. Remember to check out the links for the All Things Altered hashtag and playlist down in the description box below, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Remember, like, to share, and subscribe. Creative blessings.